Folks, how's everybody doing today? We're going back to a Pokemon conversation today. Poke de la Mon, Pokemon, however everybody around the world likes to call it. Let's address what's going on. Let's talk about a little update, shall we? So, the culture and the phenomena known as Pokemon continues to boom. Looking at the market conditions, I still am very, very bearish, cautious to everybody when it comes to the individuals out there looking to buy into the single cards of Pokemon, specifically graded base sets and graded anything that's commons and uncommons. I know a lot of people even the graded holos. You got to be real careful. PSA has so many. There's got to be 10,000 plus Pokemon cards in queue to be graded on back order at PSA. I can't imagine the population reports of these Pokemon base sets and common cards and uncommons in 12-24 months from now. I can't imagine these population reports. They're gonna be incredible. So I'm still very, very cautious, bearish, negative when it comes to those single cards and grading and people trying to flip all these. I got a nice, a common Charmander base set, Shadowless for, there's just a lot out there. Just do not underestimate. Just use a lot of caution with that, with the hype that's going on. Now, when we zip over to the sealed product, we have to remember sealed product's a whole different animal. As this phenomenon continues and the demand continues, people live streaming, just the whole momentum pushes forward. Those sealed product continues to experience a high level of attrition from sealed to converting to singles. And remember, you can't reverse that. It's a one-way street. Giggity? It's a giggity. And you got to be real careful about that because, as these things deplete, the prices will hold on those type of items. The cards within the box can go down. The PSA 9s and 10s can go down due to increased population reports, but the supply of the boxes aren't going to reinflate. You can't reinflate the supply of sealed Pokemon boxes from 30 years ago. You see, technically, what was it? I guess 98, 22 years, 21 years? 10, I don't know, depending on what, first in the U.S. or Japan, I don't know, depending what, 20 years ago, you can't inflate the supply. You see my point? As far as the culture surrounding it, just remember, everybody, when we compare Magic and Pokemon, it's not even the same language. It's not even the same planet. It's not even the same universe. The culture and the passion behind Pokemon is so far beyond that community of what Magic could ever. Magic dreams that it could become like a Pokemon type community. The way people feel about Pokemon in the community and people how passionate they are with that. In Magic, you don't really see that much. It's very divisive, very aggressive. You're either one of them or one of them. There's sides. There's a lot of political things and cultural things, injection. Pokemon doesn't have that, ladies and gentlemen. Pokemon is a very unified monster to be reckoned with. And they will continue to just be that powerhouse. It's like a cheesy Power Rangers Transformers thing. They all combine their powers and they're just a better unit working together. Magic does not have the ability, the company running it, the different divisions, it's never going to be fully unified. Trust me, it's been all these years and it's just, maybe in 10, 20, 30 years, the world will be different, but that's one of the biggest differences when we talk about culture when you compare Pokemon and Magic. And that is a major variable for long term in the strength of the intellectual property, the IP, the brand of Pokemon. You have to remember that, folks. And that carries tremendous weight. I mean, it's a powerhouse. So when we talk about that, now let's zip over to the new Pokemon products. Obviously, everybody knows I'm going to be jumping back into Pokemon, starting with Battle Styles. Pre-order of a couple thousand boxes. We're going to see if I actually get allocated 50% of that, 80%, who knows. I'm going to be pulling from all the sources. We're going to see how that goes. I have not been involved in a new Pokemon release in many, many years. Obviously, for those of you not been around or you're new to the channel, you're just here to thumbs down, make fun of my hair, or because I'm homeless in a basement, whatever you want to make fun of. I stopped doing Pokemon with Forbidden Light. That was the last that I did. I kept a couple cases, and that was it. I was selling it, and it just was a terrible experience. So, I'm going to try it again. Battle Styles is my first entrance into it in the following sets. And we'll see how it goes. Obviously, you have some of these ETB Elite Trainer boxes coming, I think next week after. Depends when this video goes live. keep in mind, Pokemon is releasing all these trainer sets with anything from Shining to Champion's Path to the ones before. They're still reprinting these products, but they're being released in multiple waves and being allocated and divvied up. I talked to another store in Florida and I said, hey, these new Shining trainer boxes, how many are you getting? Like, he goes, well, we're supposed to get 120 and we're getting, 60 at release, 20 2 weeks later, 10 3 weeks later, 20 more a few weeks. I was like, oh my God. So it's like there's so many waves because of the demand. They're just trying to pump out whatever they can. And remember, Card of Monday, just friendly reminder, is in the process of increasing print capacity. You also have, and some people mentioned, don't forget, Rudy, Millennium Printing Group or Millennium Print Group or whatever it is. I believe, I could be mistaken, I don't have a lot of knowledge in that area, but like Millennial or Millennium Print Group, if you can Google it, I believe they focus more on the specialty products, like the gift boxes, the sets, the tins. I believe Card of Monday for the Pokemon division focuses more on the actual booster box production. I could be incorrect, but at least that's all I remember that from years ago. I don't know if that still holds true, because obviously just printing booster boxes and sealing them and shipping them in cases versus making giant molds and cards and promos and laying them out, the logistics and the shipping and the pallet size and quantity per unit of pallet, it's a whole different calculation, space, constraints, machines required to make those type of shells and plastic, all the cardboard that gets wasted just opening those things, that kind of thing. So, but I just wanted to bring that up. So, moving forward, I want to give you my opinion too on the last chunk of this video. I actually do believe, moving through the rest of 2021 to the future, I don't see much, if any at all, really hard downside to Pokemon right now. I do believe the Pokemon will go through its typical ebb and flow, and we will experience a cool-off period of Pokemon sometime between 1 to 3 years. Now, how much of a cool down, really the degree of the pullback is really going to be the most arguable point, but I still firmly believe it's going to be focused around the single card retracement and repricing of overinflated graded cards, especially when it comes, like I keep picking on, the common and uncommons, because I just cannot wrap my head around people buying common cards of base sets unlimited, common cards of base shadowless or base first, just the commons at PSA 9s or 10s, and just these exorbitant thousands of dollar prices for, I just can't, I have a very difficult time. And I could be wrong on that, but just from my perspective looking in, I can't stomach that. It feels off to me. As far as the high-end holos and the chase cards, most of those prices are probably going to hold, even if you have a bear market. I mean, a 10-20% retrace on a $1,000 card, so what? What if it goes back to 900 or 800? It's not enough for anybody to care. You see my point? Because the holo ones are so difficult to get, and the supply is nowhere near that of a common uncommon. So, but as far as the new releases of Pokemon, which I know a lot of you are more interested in, I actually think the new releases moving forward are still going to be very, very strong. I do believe Pokemon as a whole, I think the company is going to go back and do some surprise reprints in the Sun and Moon era, maybe even in the XY era, maybe some sort of similar to Roaring Skies, Ancient Origins, and Primal Clash. Maybe we see some sort of another Ultra Prism or some sort of Forbidden Light or some sort of Evolutions. Maybe we see some sort of Unified Mind. Maybe some of these sets get kind of tapped on again for a reprint. I don't know if Pokemon's going to be willing to go back multiple eras to an XY era. If anything, they may pick one or two, maybe evolutions, because it's just so insane. It's possible for the loose packs, or I don't know. But again, you got to remember something, everybody. Even if they do that, you're going to experience short-term market noise or a short-term downtick in the price, but it really doesn't matter. We went through this with Roaring Skies, Primal, and Ancient. They all got reprinted way after being out of print, and it made no difference in the grand scheme. In the short term, it stunted the growth, but that was it. It doesn't matter. But I actually personally believe we're going to see they're going to be focusing on just the Sword and Shield actual base, the actual darkness, the newer sets, obviously Vivid. But I do believe we're going to see multiple Sun and Moon sets actually reprinted into booster boxes, and we may see maybe one or two XY era, probably evolutions if any. But that's still that's multiple blocks back is not very common by the time they get to the printers, manufacturers, logistics, shipping, get it to the public. Most likely we're going to see some surprise double taps on the Sun and Moon era, which again, I don't think, even if there's a short-term dip, it ain't going to make any difference. I actually think moving forward, even the new releases are probably all going to be very strong. They're going to be stronger than Magic. I think Pokemon, Digimon, Flesh and Blood, and probably Yu-Gi-Oh! Are going to lead the next few years. I know that's crazy, isn't it? But that's welcome to 2021.